The irony of never having a calculator in your pocket, and now I have something in my pocket that I am pretty sure is smarter than all of the teachers I ever had
Everyone.
combined.
Yes.
Hello and happy Saturday!
Good morning, birds and turds.
Ooh, love that. Well, today we are summarizing terrible childhood advice or things we were told that turned out to be wah wah, not true.
I can't. There's so many. Want to kick us off?
Yes, I would like to start off with this phrase in general. You can kind of fill in the blank, but you need to memorize whatever thing because you won't always be able to just look it up.
Ironic. Okay, well, we're starting off strong and fresh and a little traumatic over here. If the little boy's being mean to you, it's probably because he likes you.
Oof, didn't have that written down.
Such
That
a
one hits
bad
hard.
one.
Number 2, farts aren't funny, so you better stop laughing at them now before you get to middle school. I can picture the face of the woman that said that to me.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Turns out, not true. Jason and I laugh at farts every day.
That is a big, okay. What about the advice or the demand to finish everything on your plate? You cannot leave the table unless all of your food is off the plate and in your mouth or your stomach.
This is such a thing for me too. I feel you. Another piece of shitty childhood advice was just the entire concept of critiquing each other's art in front of the whole high school art class.
Oh my God.
And
That
maybe
sounds
this wasn't
awful.
advice, this was a practice. I still have a vivid, visceral memory of the self-portrait that I was doing for one of our art class painting assignments. I didn't like it. I knew something was wrong with like the profile and the way that the nose was. Did I need to have the entire class stare at it and then point it out and tell me? No. Why
That's
was that a good
awful.
fucking idea?
That's so traumatic. My
I can still
God.
see it in my head. That horrible nose. Okay.
I don't like it. Okay. Remember taking the career tests and there only being like 5 options? So like you're either a nurse or a teacher or a doctor. And you're like,
You're
this
either a
is
nurse or a
awful.
teacher or a mom.
Yeah. Okay, that's not helpful at all.
I think it always told me to be a teacher, and guess who's definitely not a teacher?
Me either. Another terrible piece of advice is um not questioning authority. Telling kids, don't question authority. You have to listen to everyone in power. Your
Always do what
teachers.
you're told.
Yeah, always do as you're told, exactly. Which there's a line, but
Amen. Algebra is a good skill that will help you later in life. I would just really like to argue that while that might be true for some people, I haven't used algebra a day in my adult life of my adult job ever for any reason except to make jokes about why I don't use algebra.
same. Same. Okay, another piece of terrible advice is you have to pick a career early and stick with it forever for the benefits. You go through the stuff, you get a job, and that's what you do for the rest of your life. Because then you get a
Amen.
pension.
It worked great for the boomers. I don't know that it's going to work so well for us. This is going to probably piss off some people, but a terrible piece of shit childhood advice was to tithe 10% to the church because I should have been putting that motherfucking money in an IRA.
Okay, what about this terrible piece of advice? If you take a year off of school, you'll be terribly far behind. Like you can't skip a year, or you can't take a year off before you go to college. You just have to not stop and never question anything.
If you don't go through, you won't go back.
The world will suck you up and eat you alive.
Another piece of terrible childhood advice that I would also like to scream from the top of the heavens that enjoy high school, these are the best years of your life, was an entire falsehood. Same with college, same with any era that anyone has ever said were the best years of your life. I continually as a child thought, well, if these are the best years, why am I still alive after?
I'm having more fun now than I was. Okay, another piece of terrible, terrible, terrible advice, especially now in today's economy, is just work hard enough and you'll be able to buy a home one day.
It's so depressingly true. I am still salty about the fact that everybody said it's fine, just take out student loans. I will say I'm not in a sinking ship. I will be fine, but I still think that I could have made better decisions had I actually not been an 18-year-old signing my life away on a dotted line for a loan that you can't even get rid of in bankruptcy.
Yep, it's really bad. Okay, going back to some weird things, just telling your kid to be nice. Just say hi and give him a hug. Whoever this person is. Boundaries, people.
1,000,000%. A really ironically hilarious piece of advice that I know I was told when I was younger, especially in high school, was don't lift weights if you're a girl because you'll get bulky.
So stupid. You're absolutely right. I've heard that too. Oh my gosh. This pertains to our podcast from this week, or the last week, or the next week. Either way, check us out, Non-Sexual Soulmates. You can't make money in arts or music. You can't make money doing something creative, which is funny because now there's influencers that are making more than the CEO of YouTube.
The entire concept of getting a new car and getting a new house and then just buying things on credit. Literally get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. My other one piece of terrible advice, especially for our young boys, is boys don't cry, just suck it up. Let me show you. Sorry, I went a little depressing over here.
Okay. To round it out and finish it out, last but not least, a piece of terrible childhood advice that I got repeatedly when I was growing up is don't ever live with somebody before you're married or you will ruin the excitement of being newly married. I would like to just say from personal experience that living together for 4 years before we got married ruined nothing. If anything, I had much more peace and calm because I knew exactly what I was signing up for. And I had already worked. Living together helped me identify a bunch of my own demons that started cackling and screaming when I had to start working with somebody and going through the process of being vulnerable. P.S. Everyone should go to therapy. But I did all of that shit and got a lot of that stuff worked out before we got married, which I argue actually made me enjoy getting married so much more and feel so much more at ease about the whole thing. I mean, so do what you want, but that one for me, wah, wah.
There's a lot of terrible advice. I hope I'm not giving terrible advice out here, but those were some bad ones.
And until next Saturday, I love you. Bye.
I love you. Bye.